Hey guys, Mr. Roberts again. Hopefully you liked working with the Google form yesterday because we're going to continue doing that today. Let's get started. If you have not gotten to your PDN yet, please do that first and then start the video so I can go over the answers with you. All right, this was an exit ticket from last week where you had to find the total volume of this figure. The thing that you need to do first is cut this figure off. That's what some people didn't do. Make sure you're cutting that figure into two parts. So this would be prism 1 and this would be prism 2. So for prism 1, you find the area. And we know that it's going to be, we have the 3, we have the 1, but we don't know this side right here. We know that the total side is 6. Some of you kept yours as 6, and that's where you got in some trouble. But we have to subtract the height of this part here, which is 1 inch. You can see that it's 1 inch. So we subtract 6 minus 1, which gives you 5. Now you can multiply. So that's going to be 15. Now you have to do the same. You have to find the area of the volume of prism 2. So you have the 8 at the bottom. You have the 1 from this right here. And then we need to know this side right here. And if we look at this, we know that this goes to here. So that's going to be 3. So 8 times 1 times 3 is 24. So you do 15 plus 24, which gives you 39 inches cubed. All right. And I think there were like 2 people who got that correct. But it was literally just make sure you're slowing down and breaking the total shape into smaller shapes. All right. For your new material today, we are talking about types of angles. And we're going to be talking about degrees. And we use a protractor to measure the number of degrees in an angle. So there's a drop-down menu on your classwork. Just make sure you're choosing degrees to go in the blank. It says in a full turn, there are 360 degrees. You've probably heard that before. It's people doing, like they spin around one full turn. That would be 360 degrees. But let's look what happens if we go like a quarter turn. So if I start here at 0 and I go around, sorry, my thing is trying to make a line. And I go around this protractor and I do a quarter turn. It stops at 90. So a quarter turn would be 90 degrees. A half turn would be 180. You might have heard some people talk about doing 180s, like if their car skids out or something like that. And then 3/4 of a turn would be 270. And 1 full turn would be 360 degrees. Angles are given special names depending on their size. So not how like if it's big and takes up a whole piece of paper, not like that size, but like how big the angle is, the size of their angle. All right. And we're going to talk about the 4 different types of angles. We have a right angle, which is also known as a square angle. And we call it a square angle because you could take a square and you could fit it right in the corner of any right angle. See, these are all right angles here, and this square fits right in the corner of all those. That's why it's called a square angle. When measured using a protractor, it would measure 90 degrees. All right, acute angles are what we call angles that is smaller than 90 degrees. So, and I like, oh, isn't that a cute little angle? We say things are small. They're like, oh, it's so acute. No, people don't say acute. People say cute. But you know what I'm saying. So that's a good way to try to remember it. But it's smaller than a 90-degree angle. And when measured using a protractor, it would measure less than 90 degrees. Then we have obtuse angles. An obtuse angle is an angle that is larger, bigger, larger than a right angle. And when measured using a protractor, it would measure more than 90 degrees, obviously. Then we have what's called straight angles. And a straight angle is an angle that is a line. It's basically a straight line. And when measured using a protractor, it would measure 180 degrees. All right? Those are your notes. Let's go through some examples. So we're going to look at this angle, and we're going to say, what type of angle is this? This is going to be most of your classwork today. It's going to also be on your exit ticket. So if I'm looking at this angle here, and I see that it has a little square in the corner, that immediately should tell you that it is a right angle. What type of angle is this? This is it's bigger than 90 degrees, so it is an obtuse angle. And then this one is smaller than 90 degrees, so that means we would say it's an acute angle. So looking here, we have for each measurement listed what type of angle would be created. So if I have a 70-degree angle, I should know that if it's smaller than 90 degrees, that means it's going to be acute. On your classwork, you're just going to choose acute for 70 degrees. If it's 90 degrees, we know that it is a right angle. If it's 120, it's obtuse because it's bigger than 90 degrees. 180-degree angle, it's going to be a straight angle. It's going to make a straight line. All right. For practice with Mr. Roberts, you're doing pretty much the same thing again. You are going to tell me the type of angle that is shown there, and then you are going to tell me, well, we'll just work with me. If you feel like you got it and you want to try by yourself, pause the video, and then try it on your own. All right, so this would be, it's bigger than 90 degrees, so it's an obtuse angle. This one right here is also bigger than 90 degrees, so it's an obtuse angle. And then this one here is got the little square in the middle, so that means it is a right angle. So the next thing says, what is the most reasonable measurement for angle ABC? Remember, we talked about yesterday, ABC, ABC, the vertex is in the middle. So the most reasonable measurement for this, we know a right angle would look straight up like this and have a square, but this is bigger than that. So this is telling us that it is probably going to be 120. And it says label the angle measurements as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. So this would be acute because it's less than 90. This would be straight because it's 180 exactly. This one right here is between 90 and 180, so that means it's going to be obtuse. And then this one here is 112 degrees, so that means it is also obtuse. All right, for this next part, you are going to practice on your own. So when I tell you to, you're going to pause the video. If at any point you get stuck, unpause the video. You'll see me working through each of these problems. Don't go onto the exit ticket until I tell you to do so. For this one, remember the box tells you that it's a right angle. This one, it's bigger than a right angle. Right angle would be about right here. It is bigger than that, so it is an obtuse angle. And then this one right here, it is smaller than 90 degrees, so that means it is an acute angle. All right. For this one, you are telling me which ones are acute angles. So this one is smaller than 90 degrees, so you should have that one. And then this one here is smaller than 90 degrees. On this one, you're telling me which ones are obtuse angles. This one's only one, and it's that first one there. For these, you are just telling me what possible measurement you could give me for an acute angle. Any acute angle is going to be between 1 and 89 degrees. So if your answer was between 1 and 89, you're good. And then a possible measurement for an obtuse angle, that's going to be anything above 91 to 179. Because if it's 180, that means it's a straight angle. So there you go. It says, which of the following shows acute angle? Your answer choice would be D. And then which is the most reasonable measurement for the following angles? For this first one, this looks like a right angle, so it's going to be 90. This one looks smaller than a right angle, so it's going to be A, 48. And for this one, it looks larger than a right angle, so that means it's going to be C, 146. All right, for your exit ticket. Exit ticket, again, you are doing what type of angle each of these are, and then you are telling me what a right angle would measure always. When you're done, make sure you're going on to ST Math for 15 minutes at least today. Pause the video. When you're done, check your answers by unpausing the video. This right here, this is an acute angle. This one is an obtuse angle, acute angle, and then this one is a right angle. And then a right angle is a square angle that always measures 90 degrees. All right, have a good day.